We already know that Rashid is coming soon. How good do you think he's going to be?
Oh, I've seen literally like everyone on Twitter is convinced that he's gonna be broken based on like 10 seconds of footage. I don't want to agree with that, but at the same time, he kind of feels like one of those designs that always ends up being good, don't you think?
Yep. What is going on, guys? We are back here at Fighting Game Select, and I got Mr. jmcrofts. I wanted to talk about something that you brought up that I thought was really interesting. You made a thread about Street Fighter 6 doing a lot of things when it comes to online experience. So I feel bad complaining about anything, but as it stands, there are the issues that stick out to me. Otherwise, solid experience. So let's talk about the good, man. What is your favorite aspect of Street Fighter 6?
If we're talking about the online, I mean, the netcode is pretty crazy, right?
Yes.
I feel like it's up there in the hollowed halls of like fighting games with really amazing netcode, like Killer Instinct,
Yeah.
Skullgirls, that kind of thing. Like it doesn't feel any worse than those games, I would say. So I've been playing people from Europe, from California, wherever, and it just works, which is pretty awesome as long as they're not on McDonald's Wi-Fi.
So basically, in the Hall of Fame, you got LeBron James, you got Michael Jordan, you got Killer Instinct, and you got Street Fighter 6. So you telling me they all gonna be there together with the jerseys? You know what I mean? What?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to put it on Mount Rushmore, but yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Okay, well that's good, man. I think from what we've been experiencing for the past 8 years, I think this is a pretty solid foundation to start with. Now, there's another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit on your list too. You was talking about the biggest problem is still matchmaking criteria. It seems only match up when people from small physical area around you, which I think, in my opinion, is actually insane for how amazing their netcode is.
Yeah.
So seeing that. And I really like that you said it's okay to let us play. I really like that a lot. I think that's such a strong statement.
For me, I don't think it's as bad for me as it is for some people because, I live in a major city, so there's like so many people around to match me with. But it definitely does happen where it's like, yeah, especially as I'm getting to the higher ranks, and like upper diamond and stuff. It's like, man, I've played this guy 4 or 5 times today. We're just trading points back and forth. So, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. My theory is, or my belief here is that basically Capcom designed this with the idea that, the average player is probably going to play, a dozen matches or something. Like the average player is not like sitting there and grinding out 1,000 matches like you and I are. So they want to create a smooth experience that for 99% of players, they can log in and they can play some online matches and they'll have a good experience. But for that small percent like us, I think we'd be more willing to put up with like, okay, it keeps matching me up with this guy with 2 bars and I have to reject it, but like I'm willing to put up with that in exchange for getting a wider variety. So I feel like they might have gone a little too far in the direction of optimizing for the average player, and I think they could keep it like it is but add an option. Just add an option in settings where it's like, okay, my matchmaking radius, is it like same small area, same region, same country, whatever. Like just give us the option, I think would be nice. So yeah, I would say that's probably my biggest problem with the game is the matchmaking issues with getting matched up with the same people. Like and to think like if that's the biggest problem with the game, that's pretty good because the matches are still good.
Yeah.
It still plays great. It's just, I'm tired of seeing the same people.
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that is because I feel like what they should add, and Capcom, you should hire me if I'm making something really crazy, is they should add like a online world tour mode where like you actually play like in a worldwide audience like tournament where like it's like rank match, it's like matchmaking, but it's like a different tier of like matchmaking where when you are climbing your ranks, it actually is like true skill matchmaking or something like that, where it's like a separate thing. So people who want to be able to like play people all over the world and like challenge themselves, I think they should do something like that if they want to keep it safe. And I think that's an easier way to kind of like add that option just for players like us, right?
Another one of my tweets in this epic chain of a rant that I went on was that I feel like there's not that much to do in ranked if you're a good player. I think like you'll probably get placed into diamond if you're like a good player, and then you can grind to master, and then it's like, well, what else is there, So I feel like whether it's adding more ranks or like like you said, maybe like a different mode that has a separate ranking or whatever, like some kind of thing to like give us something to do that's not just player placements, grind to master, and that's it. I think that would be nice.
Yeah, and I personally wouldn't want them to just be like adding like Grandmaster, because I think it'd just be easier, because it would like Diamond Master, right. Grandmaster, right? And I think what I think I would like for them to do is, again, add that new mode and make something where it's then you keep climbing, but then like as you like how like if you play like for example like old anime games where you have like rank colors. Like pink,
square,
yellow
yeah.
stuff. So my logic is if they make like a tournament online mode where like you get like based off your colors. So you only play against those colors, and you can get to like the highest color, and like you get like cool cosmetics and things like that. Like you get like skins for your avatar, or you get like nice like tags or like nice titles and things like that. Something that I encourage you to play, and if you stick with that, then you get like fight money and things like that, and like or fight credits, whatever they call it.
Right. All right. I have a pitch for Capcom.
Okay.
Here's my pitch.
Okay.
Is I think that they should do online events where the example that kind of made me think of this was Magic the Gathering Online. They in MTGO they have these things where you can do like basically like a mini tournament. You do 3 matches, and if you go 3 for 3, they call that like medaling, like you got a medal. And so they can also do events where it's like, okay, for this event there's like a unique medal if you go 3 for 3 in this event, and so then people can look at your profile and be like, oh, like he has this medal that was only there for one event 2 years ago, stuff like that. So I think they should do some kind of thing where like you basically are like signing up for like a set thing, whether it's a bracket or a set number of matches or whatever, and then have some kind of like in-game reward or even just like a cosmetic that you get based on your results. And then, they can keep it interesting by being like, all right, now Rashid just came out, so now if you go far in this event, you'll get a Rashid medal or whatever. So I think something like that would be cool too, because then like you're going to be fighting the really good players if you are the type of person that you want that ultra high level, high ranked experience.
That adrenaline rush.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely would like that. My question is to you: do you really like the placement, like the actual system placement as a whole? Like, do you think that should be something? But do you feel like this concept is really good and it prevents people from like trying to like smurf and things like that? Like, do you prefer this for all like fighting games?
I think I do like the placements, but I might just like it because it makes really good content. I'm a little bit biased. Like it's such an easy video to just do your placement matches with a character and see what happens. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
But I think it makes sense conceptually, right? Like if they just say, okay, we're just gonna start you at bronze and you got to work up to master. Like especially since it's per character. Like do you really want to smurf your way through bronze, you just like beat everybody, until you get up to your true rank. So I think I like the idea, but the implementation is a little bit weird to me because like on day 1, I think I got like placed gold with Ryu, and then I got placed diamond with Manon, even though I had like similar results like in terms of the 10 matches. So I don't know, it just feels a little bit random. I feel like there's like a hidden elo or like a hidden matchmaking ranking that they use to determine your rank, because I think they match you up in your placement matches against people who are around the level the game thinks you are. So there's something there.
Do you think the reason why it's like that is because of the locked in, like the region locked matchmaking? Do you feel like because it's more random, it's because of those, like how the system is? Do you think it would be a little bit more consistent if it was more broader?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that. I could definitely see like if it's broader, they can find someone who is like closer to your rank, right? Whereas if it's only searching in a small area, they might have to get someone who's a little too good or a little too weak just to find someone who matches. So that could have something to do with it. I don't know. I think in general, I would maybe like a little more transparency about how the placement works, because I also know there's that like questionnaire at the start of the game where they're like, what level do you think you are? And I'm like, how big of an impact does that make? What does that actually change? It's a little bit unclear.
Now that we got all of the things out of the way, what is there one big thing that you will want Capcom to do with the jukebox? Because that's another thing I want to talk about. Is, you know, I feel like we got gaslighted a little bit. You know,
We did. We got a little bit debated.
Yeah, we got debated because when I heard the juke, I'm like, oh, we're gonna be, you know, playing our favorite Gal theme while we fighting and stuff. And you know, the only time you play the Gal theme is when you know, walking in the battle hub. And I was a bit disappointed by that.
Yeah, it is a bummer, and you know, I'm one of the rare SF6 soundtrack defenders. I think
I'm a
the
defender
SF6
too.
Soundtrack is pretty good.
Same.
But I am getting tired of it.
Oh damn!
I've heard the same song so many times. I'm ready to hear some other stuff. I think, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the variety is always good. That's one thing I liked about SNK, is they were never shy about their jukebox. They were like, yo, you want all your song, but we got Samurai Showdown, we got Garu remix. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff. So I think that is really cool. But yeah, man, I was a little disappointed, man. Like.
Yeah.
You know, I was really, really sad about it. And I really hope that Capcom actually takes the time and, like, you know, give us something a little bit more nice than just walking around cabinets and listening to these
so things. Guilty Gear Strive, their jukebox is like bare minimum, I think, which is like when you're selecting your character, you select the song. Which is a little bit weird because, like, you can select random, and then it's, like, every song that you have unlocked in the whole game, so you might get, like, a super not fitting song. And, you know, you have to, like, manually pick the song, whereas I really liked what they did in Tekken 7, where you could literally say, like, okay, on this stage, play this song. Yep. On this stage, play this song. On this stage, play this song, which I thought was so sick, because sometimes I would even get so granular where I'm like, okay, like, I hate this stage's song, so I'm just going to replace it with like some other song I like, or like I love this stage's song, so I'm going to apply it to multiple stages so I can hear it more. Yeah. So that was so sick, and I think that didn't even exist on the PC version too. It was like console only for whatever reason.
That was actually hilarious. We already know that Rashid is coming soon. How good do you think he's going to be?
Oh, you know, I've seen literally like everyone on Twitter is convinced that he's gonna be broken based on like 10 seconds of footage. I don't want to agree with that, but at the same time, he kind of feels like one of those designs that always ends up being good, don't you think? I feel like the characters that always end up being bad are like, you know, like grapplers are always bad. And like pure like projectile zoners, I feel like tend to be bad in Street Fighter as well. I'm sure there's exceptions that
Ryu now.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryu has been consistently bad for a very long time.
Yeah, and the characters that tend to be good in my experience are like the really agile, like mix-up heavy characters. You know, like Cammy is good a lot and stuff like that. So, yeah, he seems. And another thing in this game is that there's not that much mix in this game outside of throw. Throw is like 99% of your mix in this game. So if he has like actual like super tricky cross ups and stuff like that, yeah, he could be really insane. So, you know, obviously I'm always the guy who's saying let's wait and see, let's not get too carried away. But yeah, he seems like he's. Plus they got to sell the season pass, right? So surely they'll overtune him so people buy the character, right? Surely.
Yeah, surely. And I just seeing like his win mechanic, his win mechanic as a whole. It's actually insane. Like the fact that he can do EXs and follow up and like use follow ups afterwards is going to be pretty crazy. You know, his V Trigger 1 is level 2 super now, so like that's crazy as well. So like
all the level 2 supers that are installs I think are really good.
Yes, very strong. You know, so that just means his is going to be just as good. So
and the last game that had a tornado character, you know, throwing tornadoes around, that really scarred me for life.
Swiftmaster, bro.
That left an impression. So yeah, dude, maybe the power of the wind is too much.
Dude, when I went to the Arx's office to try the game out and like I streamed it over there, bro, when I tapped Swiftmaster, I said this character is so broken. Like
he moves like the wind, man. He's so fast, yeah.
Bro,
ridiculous.
Any character like that the Magneto in the game is crazy. But yeah. But anyways, man, thank you so much, bro. Thank you guys again for watching Fighting Game Select. Make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like, let me know how you guys feel about some of the things that we talked about, and we would like to see more of this. Please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time on Fighting Game Select.
Bye, everybody.